Good morning. This is February 23rd, 2023. It's about 9:50 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you can see here clearly the markets are going down. It's made some attempts at going up for a retracement, and then it just came straight down. Same thing with the Dow, and same thing with the Nasdaq. Um, so what I said yesterday, 4,000 seemed to be a very important psychological number, where it could act as support, coming down and resistance going up. So it's broken that a couple times and failed, went back up and came down again. So um, it looks like today might be the day where it's just going to continue down. I feel like eventually that's what's going to happen. But as far as the Dow, it's still been hanging out in this area. I'm going to show you a larger chart on this soon. But it's been in this balance area for a long time, for months, and it looks like it's at the bottom. So let's see if it breaks out and comes down into this area. And then the Nasdaq is pretty much like the ES. It's broken out of its balance area. And as mentioned before, anything that breaks out of a balance area goes whatever direction it goes in that direction in a pretty big way. So we'll see what happens with this market in the next week or two. So here's a big picture. This is the beginning of 2022. We've been coming down, obviously a bear market, and now we're right here. We're about 20 points below the 4,000 mark on the ES, on the S&P. And it looks like we're going to be start heading down pretty soon. Well, we actually are, but I'm just saying down into this area and then eventually down into here. Let's see here. Bring that up. Okay, so that's where we're at. So I had bought some April put options a couple days ago, somewhere around here, I believe, and now it's down here. So I'm in the money. And then we'll see how this thing goes. Like I said, there's different ways of playing this. If you want to go long term, you buy put options in April or May, and you just wait for this thing to come down, and then you can sell whenever you want. But you have to sell. You can't just hang on to these positions, because that's not what this market's about. It's not about holding on. It's about buying and selling. And so, what's the Dow Jones doing? So here's that big balance area I was talking about, all the way from November, the end of October. Well, here's November, probably November. It's been pretty much in this balance area, and it has not corrected from here to here. You had a little tiny correction here, but it's not enough. So this thing needs to come down, and it's been hanging out for too long. So it looks like this is the time. On the Nasdaq, it's like the ES. It broke out of that balance area, and it's down here. And it looks like it needs to come down into this area. And who knows how long that's going to take? Maybe a couple months or whatever. Now, alternatively, if the markets decide to go back up and then create this bull market, that's possible too. I don't think that's going to happen, because it just doesn't feel like that. I mean, we're in a bear market, and this has already gone up too far. This could be considered a correction from here to here, and then it could continue up. But there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the world and economy to not really warrant that. So anyway, that's my feeling. I just feel like this is going to come down to here, and eventually just break down even further. I mean, it's even possible we're going to start maybe even hitting some circuit breakers. You know, the markets have circuit breakers built in that if it goes down too far, too fast, they shut the market down. I forgot what those circuit breakers are. I think on the let's see, they're on the S&P and the Dow and the Nasdaq. I think they're all the same as far as, I think this first circuit breaker is like if it goes down 7%. So what is that? That's about, if it went down 280 points, let's say, today went down 280 points, they would shut down the market for about, and I'm not sure, you can look this up, I think it's about 15 minutes, and then they would start it up again. Now, if it went down 20%, which would be crazy, then they shut the market down completely until the next day. So, you know, that might happen. You know, we might go down 7% one of these days when the market, I think that's not going to happen until we get under this point, and then we're going to start seeing those moves. But either way, you can make some big money. You know, you buy some put options and you're going to make some good money. All right, so what I've talked about before, I believe the market's got to come down here and eventually beyond that. But, you know, it's going to start retracing pretty soon. Let's say it gets down to this point without a retracement. It'll probably start retracing and then go down. It's going to do its normal thing like it does here. You know, it just goes down, up, and this one goes up, down. So it's going to do the same thing here. It's not going to be any different. So we'll see what happens. You can make, like I said, a pretty decent living doing this if you're conservative. I'm considered a conservative trader, which means, or pretty much a lazy trader, which there's not a lot for me to do after this. I'm just going to walk away. And that's it. People have asked me how much you can make here. You know, I have this chart here I was looking at earlier, and the average American makes about $52,000 a year, I think. But you know, this is what a pharmacist makes, a scientist, nurse, software engineers, accountants, firefighters, electricians, all the way down. So let's say take a pharmacist, say $112,000. In this move from here to here, you can easily make that 112. And that might take you 2 months or 3 months, whatever. And that's if the market continues down, of course. And you can make a lot more than that. But I'm just saying, to be conservative, you could make $100,000 coming down. And basically, there's nothing to do. If you're a pharmacist or you have a job, you have to work at least 8 hours a day. And you have to drive there, you have to wake up at a certain time. There's a lot involved. I used to be an employee, but I haven't been an employee since I was 22. I think that was the last time I was an employee. And from that point on, I own my own businesses. And so I know what it's like to work that many hours. But with this, you don't have to do that. You can basically be free from all that. So that's one of the reasons why I'm teaching you to do this. If you choose to do that, then you can live more of a free life and then do the things that you want to do. You know, maybe you want to, I don't know, take up painting, or you want to take up dancing, or be a musician, or you want to travel. You know, you get to do those things. But at the same time, of course, you're going to be learning about this and watching this and developing your own system. Good thing about this is if you have a job with a company could go out of business. Any company could, even companies like Apple or Amazon or Google, you know, they're letting go tens of thousands of people. So you could even lose your job, even with a big company like that. With the stock market, you can't lose your job. I mean, this moves all the time. Like I showed you back in 1929 when the market crashed, and it came right back up. It took 25 years to come back up to break even, but still it was moving. So you can still keep making money. The market just doesn't flatline. It keeps moving. So as long as there's a stock market, you're in business. So it's your choice. If you want to make as much as you do at work, if you're making $50,000 a year, you can definitely do that here. If this market continues down, you can definitely make that in the next couple months, and there's a whole year's salary right there. And you didn't have to do very much. Basically just be patient. You do have to know where the tops are and where the bottoms are, and you have to time this. And if you check this out with most traders online, they'll tell you can never find a top or bottom. Well, that's how I trade. Don't find it exactly, but the timing might be a little bit off, but still, it's still, like I said, in these balance areas, I know pretty much where the top's at. And so there's a lot more involved, of course. You have to know if the market's done any kind of correction within a certain period of time. There's a lot of stuff, but I have all this in my head, so I'm not really thinking so much about that. So it all comes out in a feeling because of all that information I already have. So, all right, so that's it for now. Market looks like it's still pretty weak and it's still heading down. It's already broken that 4,000 barrier, and the other markets look like they're pretty weak too. If the Dow breaks down into this area, then I would say that's definitely confirmation that we're coming down pretty good. So far it hasn't done that. Might not do that till next week unless we have a big drop down. It could actually turn around and come back up. That can happen too. And then we'll have to wait again. But hopefully that doesn't happen. And so it looks like we're on track. And so that's it for now. So today's Thursday, I believe, yeah. And then so I'll check back with you guys tomorrow and see where this market ended up at the end of the day. Okay, that's it.